Hello friends, I welcome you all on my YouTube channel Talks on Homeopathy. Today we are going to discuss the book review of Repertory of the Homeopathic Materia Medica by Dr. J.T. Kent, which is known as Kent's Repertory. We are going to review the enriched Indian edition, which were derived from 6th American edition of Kent's Repertory. In India, the Repertory was published by B. Jain Publishers. So let us start with Kant's concept of totality. Kant emphasized detailed study of the expressions of whole person who is sick. His holistic approach to the study of the phenomena of disease as well as the proving of drugs has provided sure and definite guidelines for practitioners. His explanations of the principles of homeopathy has clearly defined the guidelines forming the totality of disease. He gave importance to the study of all the symptoms in order to understand the disorders which takes place from center to periphery, from within outwards. The pathological changes are the products of disease, and the diseases express itself through certain organs or system which cannot be taken as the sole expression of the phenomenon. These pathological changes and local expression are the ultimate result of some cause, and nothing can exist without any cause. According to Dr. Kant, a man consists of his body, mind and spirit, and he is known by his total behavior. There is a common existing in all, but there also exists something uncommon which makes an individual different from every other. The individual expression remains with him in health and disease. It should be the duty of the physician to know the person in health and to notice the deviation in his disease condition. In order to understand the nature of disease and to form an image of the whole should be given primary importance and the organ or tissue secondary. The whole of a person is unique, and hence it requires individualized attention of the physician with clear objectives. The image of the person should be formed in totality. Thus the person should be individualized because his symptoms are unique. This possible when one gives more importance to symptoms which are unique to the person and gives less importance to common symptom of disease. No doubt the common symptoms help us to understand the disease, but prescribing totality alone helps us in the selection of medicine. So Dr. Kant has classified symptoms into general, particular and common to understand the person, part and disease respectively. It is obvious that Kant lays more emphasis on the generals and uncommon particulars which characterize a person and his disease. Now let us discuss some points regarding origin and development of Kant's repertory. We all know Dr. Bonninghausen was the pioneer in the field of homeopathy to introduce the mathematical process of finding out the similar medicine well suited to a particular case. In fact, he brought about a revolution in the field of homeopathy not only by publishing repertories but also by introducing the adaptability and process of repertorization which with evaluation of symptoms and gradation of medicine. With the progress of time, the volume of materia medica, the symptoms of materia medica increased day by day with the addition of newly proved medicine. The philosophy and the conception of man who is diseased changed, and hence demand of repertory in a new style with the new medicines were inevitable. Hence a new method of repertory was necessary to publish, though Bonninghausen's works were based in the 18th century. Dr. Kant observed that the number of drugs and symptoms were so limited in Allen's encyclopedia that it lacks half of symptoms. Jar repertory was next important, but it was the repertory of old medicines only, and in meantime the pathogenesis of the disease being changed, the book became useless. So he cope up with the changing circumstances and also to overcome the above advantages, The development of new repertory in a new style was the need of the time. In fact, this need ultimately led to development of Kant's repertory, a completely different repertory with different philosophical background and plan and construction for repertorizing in a new style. The plan that Dr. Kant followed was chiefly that of Dr. Lippe, which was outlined in Lippe's Handbook of Characteristics. Dr. Kant also added his clinical notes, especially those which did not contradict proving. After completion of the work, Dr. Kant started using it for his own purpose, and then later on he published in a book form. Kant's repertory has 6 editions of the original book. There have also been some variations of Dr. Kant's repertory like Repertorium Generale by Dr. Kunzli, Final General Repertory by Pierre Smith, and Kant's repertory corrected version by Dr. R.P. Patel. Certain other repertories are developed on the basis of principles of Kant repertory, synthetic repertory, synthesis repertory, and Kant's comparative repertory by Dr. Dox and Koehlenberg. Now let us start with some primary information of Kant's repertory. Kant repertory is a complete work, and we can divide this thing into a 3 part. The prefix part contains some basic introductory portion, use of repertory, how to study the repertory, how to use the repertory, and repertorization by Dr. Margaret Tyler and John Ware. We also have a list of Holt and Called remedies and some case demonstration by Dr. Margaret Tyler and John Ware. So this is the page of that book. Repertory proper contains some preface part and the chapters with the different arrangement of rubrics. The suffix part, the last part of book, is containing the sides of the body and drug affinities, relationship of medicine by Dr. Gibson Miller. Here is the pages of that book, relationship of remedies, sides of body. The relationships are given under this different headings: the name of remedy, the complements, remedy that follow well, inimicals, antidote, and also the duration of action. Sides of the body and drug affinities. Now let us start with some philosophical background of Kant's repertory. Mostly we can say the Kant's repertory is based on 3 different philosophical aspects. The first, concept of individualization, that we discussed in the former part of this discussion. Individualization through evaluation of symptoms from general to particular and gradation of medicines. So what is concept of individualization? We all, those who are attached with homeopathic field, are very familiar with this word individualization. Master Hahnemann was the first person who introduced this word in the therapeutic system of medicine in homeopathy, and according to this theory, no 2 persons are ever alike. Either in health or in a disease, they are going to behave in a different manner. So homeopathy recognizes the individuality of a patient, and then they are going to prescribe a medicines on the basis of that, and Kant repertory is going to help us to individualize a case with the help of rubrics and the data given in that repertory. Now evaluation of symptoms. The whole repertory is based on one basic logic, which is known as a deductive logic from general to particular. Evaluation of symptoms are given is the Dr. Kant given prime importance to mental generals, then physical generals, then characteristic particular symptoms, and lastly the common symptom of a disease. The symptoms referring to the person as a whole are a higher value than the particulars which affects the particular organ. so much higher a general symptom rank that if it be a strong and well marked one, it can overrule any number of strong particulars. So among the general symptoms, the mental symptoms which bring out the finest traits, differentiation between man and the other man, and which refer to the patient as a whole, receive the topmost priority. If well marked and uncommon, they take the highest rank in the selection of the remedy. The third aspect is gradation of medicine. He used three different types of evaluation of medicine or a gradation in Kent Repertory. The first, there are three criteria to give the gradation or value to the medicines are like this: recording of the symptom during drug proving, confirmation by reproving, and verification upon the sick. So according to this system, there are three grade medicines are available: the first grade, second grade, third grade. The first grade medicines are those where the symptoms appear in every prover, they are confirmed by reproving and verified clinically upon the sick. The second grade medicines are symptoms appear very few provers, confirmed with reproving and occasionally verified upon the sick. Third grade, symptoms appear now and then in a proving, not yet reproved, but they are very strongly verified or acted on a sick person. So according to this method, Dr. Kent has given three different typography to represent this three evaluation or gradation of medicine. The first grade medicines were typed in a bold letters. During representation process, we are going to give them a 3 marks. The second grade were typed in italics. We are going to give them 2 marks. And third grade were written in a Roman letters. We are going to provide 1 mark to those medicines. Now plan and construction. So in repertory, throughout the plan was based on the simple logic from general to particular, deductive logic. The first chapter is mind and the last chapter is generalities. Total number of chapters are 33, and urinary organs, the chapter containing 5 different divisions, and if you are going to consider that 5 different sections as a separate chapter, the number of chapters are going to raise to the 37. The rest of the chapters are based on anatomical divisions followed by function or discharges. Some anatomical parts like head, throat, external throat, chest, back, abdomen, rectum are presented as a separate chapters with different their subparts. Like in abdomen, we will have a rubrics of hypochondria, hypogastrium, ileum, inguinal region. In back, there are 4 portions are given: the cervical back, dorsal, lumbar, sacral, and coccyx. Other chapters like ear, eyes, face, nose are containing their respective rubrics and the sub-rubrics. Discharges, functional discharges such as stool, perspiration, urine, expectoration are given in a separate chapter. Generals are found in mind, sleep, and generalities chapter. Conditions like vertigo, cough, chill, fever, vision are also having a separate chapter. So there are number of chapters with the number of pages and total number of rubrics they are containing. I had provided as a reference work, so you may go later on. The only thing I am going to highlight over here is the maximum number of rubric is in chapter of mind. Total number of rubric is 529, and the least number of rubric, the chapter contains a hearing where you will only find 4 rubrics. If you are going to look for availability or contents of pages, the prostate chapter is the smallest chapter containing only 2 pages, and the extremities chapter is the largest chapter containing 282 total number of pages. So let us go with a arrangement of rubrics and sub-rubric. Kant repertory always start with the general rubric, the rubric which is also called as a main rubric, which is typed in a capital bold letters. The main rubric followed by the sub rubrics. The sub rubrics in most of the rubrics, in most of the chapters, are containing four different groups, which are, which you can say as a site, time, modalities, extension, and so on. So here it is, you can say we are going to refer a head chapter. There is a pain, headache in general is written, and all the medicines are given here. Now again, just we can have some look on the arrangement of one page. The name of a chapter is written on a middle of a top of the page, and the page number is the middle of a bottom of the page. The whole page is divided into two columns, so the reference or referring the repertory is going to become more easy. You can also look for a gradation of a medicine that you are, it is clearly visible. Few medicines are bold like Kali iod, Lachesis, Macphos. Then 2 mark medicine or second grade medicine, italics. You have Kali phos, Lycopodium, and then the remaining are in a simple Roman letters. So this is a main rubric typed in a capital bold letters, followed by sub-rubrics. The sub-rubrics are given in a simple Roman letters. Sub-rubrics are written one indentation inside the sub-rubric. So you have to follow this indented areas. Few locations which are written in a bold letters just to differentiate from the sub-rubrics and rubrics. Now let us discuss the sub-rubrics, arrangement of sub-rubrics. So first, every rubric is going to have a side. Right is the first and left is the second. So every time wherever the side is written, we will find the right sub-rubric is first and the sub-rubric of left is followed by the right. Then comes a time modality. Now time modality is arranged on a phases of day and not in alphabetical order. So we will find the sub-rubrics like daytime, morning, forenoon, noon, afternoon, evening, twilight, night, midnight, after midnight. But if any rubric is not containing any component of this arrangement, the straight away the next sub-rubric or next component is going to follow. Like if one rubric is not having a symptoms related to a noon aggravation or any complaint in noon, the forenoon is directly going to be followed by afternoon. Next comes the list of modalities. The modalities or modifying factors are arranged in alphabetical order, and there are few indications or few type of modalities are given in this repertory. The first we are going to have a directly written as aggravation and amelioration with abbreviations of AGG dot and AMEL dot, which directly denotes the aggravation and amelioration. Other components of modifying factors are before, during and after, and also the concomitants are listed in the list of modalities. There are two different components we are going to find in this repertory is ailments from an alternating symptom in their respective alphabetical order. After the modality, there is extension. The rubric of extension is given with the suffix of extending to, and all the extension rubrics are followed by in alphabetical order given in that particular sub rubric. So again, if you are going to see in a simple manner, every rubric or every rubric of pain we are going to find this following sub-rubrics: the main rubric, the sub-rubric in side right and left, then time modalities in day phases, modalities in alphabetical order, then comes extension also having some modalities, extension and time, then locations in alphabetical order and locations again containing the same site, time, modality and extension, and the last, the character of pain. Whenever we are having a rubric of pain, the character of pain are there. So we'll have a site, time, modality, location and extension. So this is how in short we can see this, the highly extensive arrangement of general to particulars. Every rubric starts with a general rubric, and see how particularly Dr. Kent has detailedly arranged those symptoms with site, time, modality and extension. Okay, so if we refer the book, this is a chapter I. We are going to look for a rubric pain. So we have this pain general rubric. All the medicines are listed, and then comes a sub rubric in a simple Roman letter, a right followed by left. If you look for right, there is a one extension also, extending to left and extending to forehead. So this is general to again particular. After side, there is a daytime, morning. So time modality is there, forenoon, noon. Another main feature or component is in Kant's repertory, we are going to find a specific time in AM and PM also. You can see over here, forenoon we have 8 to 9, 10 am, 11 am, okay, noon, then daily, etc. Again in afternoon, 1 pm, 4 pm, evening. So these are a time modality. After time modality, we have modalities. So now this is rubric is midnight, and when it ends, we are going to have a modality. This is air, cold. Okay, now here night, midnight. Okay, again this is alternate with pain in abdomen with left arm, this, and then we have all the list of modality in alphabetical order. Okay, cold water, coughing, dark. This means eye pain in glaucoma. So some clinical conditions are also given. Okay, headache during is also there. So it is like this. Again, there is a list of all the. You can also have a repertory with you, and you just open up the chapter and just look for. The page number is 250. You can go through with this simultaneously while you watching the video. This is, so we have a total list of modalities alphabetically. The last is yawning, and the rubric of extending is there. Now to just make a differentiation with the another rubrics, he has just written with a Roman bold letters the extension, all the list of extension between canthi, eyebrows and all, and then we are having a this type of pain or character of pain, aching. So again go with the one character of pain, and character of pain is again going to be divided into side. So it is over here, the left. Okay, then morning, forenoon, again a time modality. Then comes this alphabetical order, the simple modalities. See here, riding, while, before, sleep, all are given. Next comes the another rubric, biting, burning. So there is another character of pain, alphabetical order are written. Okay, the same thing we are going to have in every chapter. Okay, as I say, you have to follow the indentation. These are in line, so these are the sub rubrics. If it is going to have a one indentation, they are going to attach with a main sub rubric of this. So all these rubric, forehead, occiput, teeth, are the attached with a extending to. Okay, let us go with some special features. The repertory is based on a philosophy of general to particulars. 3 gradations are given. It contains total 648 medicines. Rubrics and sub-rubrics are arranged in a one complete symptom form. Mind symptom or mind chapter contains so many rubrics, as we just referred. The total number of rubrics is 529. The generality section is large, elaborately contains many rubrics on general modalities, some rubrics on clinical condition, many rubrics which appear as particular under proper anatomical sections. Main heading may also appear in this section. Another thing, I am going to give you some examples of special chapters. You are going to find out the rubrics of aversion, desires, thirst in a chapter stomach. Then all the conditions of external nose, we are going to have a chapter in the chapter of face. The nose chapter contains conditions or diseases of internal nose, and if it is external part of the nose involved, any kind of eruptions, any kind of local pathology you want to find, you want to search, you have to refer in a face chapter. Sub-rubrics are placed alphabetically according to arrangements, and some rubrics related to children are also given, like irritability, restlessness. So conditions of children are also there, but it is scattered. Only repertory which covers the rubric pertaining to mental generals, physical generals, and some kind of a constitutes. Okay, so these are the brief review of this repertory. Just again, we are going to suffice some main points of this repertory is that it contains 648 medicines, and the arrangement is easy to follow, and the rubric hunting is also easy in this repertory. The 3 gradations are going to give you a less confusion while you are comparing the medicines. It is based on very authentic source books, and also you are going to have the clinical experience of Dr. Kent, and that's why you can rely for this repertory for your routine practice. Some clinical conditions are also given, so it is not like that the Kent is follower of only mental symptoms, so we are going to use this repertory only for a mind or only for some general symptoms. We have so many different rubrics in all chapters which are related to clinical conditions like hepatitis, pneumonia, tuberculosis. We have leprosy also. So many rubrics are there. Anemia is also there, septicemia is also there, gangrene, cancers are all rubrics are given in different chapters. So it is not that you only refer this book for mental symptoms or general symptoms. You can take the reference for your clinical cases also. This is going to give you a directly support of Dr. Kent's knowledge and his clinical experiences. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this video. If you have any queries, any doubts, you want any more information regarding any topic, you can write down in a comment section. For more videos like this, you can subscribe and you can visit my channel Talks on Homeopathy on YouTube. Thank you very much.